to the Friday Night Fights Invitational, featuring the community's best players going head-to-head in Doom Eternal's Battle Mode. Tonight's competitors, playing Slayer, it's HeyKyle. And the opposition playing Demons, F4llback and DoomsdayRonin.
Are we doing it? Is it real? Are you there? Is it ketchup? Is it you?
Yes, I think so. Unless I'm mistaken, I think we're good to go. And again, I'm not blurry. I feel super fortunate every time I don't come through pixelated. Welcome, everyone. This is going to be a special edition of the Friday Night Fights here for Doom Eternal's Battle Mode, right? I mean, we've been doing Friday Night Fights for a couple of months now. The entire direction is to gather some of the most passionate, high-level battle mode players in the PC community, have them go head-to-head, showcase what this game looks like at the highest level, and really celebrate something that's quite new for a lot of players. Whereas now, after a little bit of time to figure out what's going on and to create a flow here on the show, now it's time for something different. We teased this last week. What's it all about?
So the Friday Night Fights Invitational is something that Ketchup and I have been planning for a long time. After we got the show off the ground, we were like, okay, we've kind of been doing week to week. We've been showcasing all the most passionate players, all of like what the fans want to see as far as like top level battle mode matches in Doom Eternal. But we were kind of cherry picking a little bit. Like we'd say, send us your best 3 maps, which is competitive, of course, because everyone that has ever been on the stream is ultra good, ultra skilled, ultra competitive. But it wasn't the highest level that we were striving for because we had to get there first. We had to earn it. So in doing that, of course, we've got this stable of players, some of which are going to be some familiar faces that you've seen, some of which, like in tonight with HeyKyle, F4llback, and DoomsdayRonin, they might be some new faces for this stream in particular. Of course, if you've been grinding or playing battle mode, you've come up against these guys and you eye roll when you see them because you go, oh, there they are. But basically, the idea is we wanted to create a tournament so it's 7 weeks. Every single week, every single team plays another team. So there's 7 Slayers and there's 7 teams of Demons. So what we wanted to do is every single week you will see 3 maps back to back to back, exactly as they were played. Nothing in between. There's no cherry picking here. Whatever happens goes. Every week from now until 7 weeks from now, every week will feature a different set of players that you haven't seen in those 7 weeks, and all of the matches that are played offline, at the end of this stream, you're going to see a recap of everything that's happened this week. So it's very exciting. It has us both really pumped, Ketchup. This is 7 weeks of top-level battle mode play in Friday Night Fights Invitational. How you feeling?
Yeah, look, originally, when it came to Friday Night Fights, the entire thing was kind of showcasing the mode at the highest level, showing different demon teams, different kind of game plans. Whereas now the meta has very much kind of been established at this point. We kind of know what demon comps are extremely popular. Not only that, but the kind of mods the Slayers like to use, the way they like to approach. And now that kind of meta has been set. At least, this game's only been out for a few months, but it's enough to start with. Now the time is right to get something competitive on deck. Now the players, they're playing those 3 maps in a row. They're playing for something. Everyone wants to be in for a shot at the finals, whether it's the Slayer, whether it's the Demon teams. And this is the first time we've been really competitive with it. And I'm really excited. I thank everyone for joining us tonight. And I can already say 100% you're in for a treat. These games are absolutely ridiculous, and you're going to love every second of it.
And again, if you are just joining us for the first time and you were literally born under a rock, first of all, welcome to humanity, welcome to the world, welcome to your life. Here at Friday Night Fights, we showcase Doom Eternal's Battle Mode. What is that? I'm glad you asked. It's an asymmetrical skill versus basically strategy of the skill of the Slayer. You know the car, you've driven it before since 1993. It's the most polished, heavy, kitted, absolute arsenal force of everything. Every weapon in the book is in the kit. The traversal is nuts. There's double dash. You've got chainsaw. You've got flame belch. You've got frag grenade. It's all there. It's all ready. And he's going up against 2 absolutely nutty statisticians, of which are thinking from the top down level demons, some of which are aggro, some of which are super shot callers. You've got the whole variety in there. New to Doom Eternal, you're going to see the Marauder. He's very much like the Slayer in the aggression and in his double dash and in jumping, and you're going to see some toe-to-toes happening. So without further ado, I could talk about this literally forever, but I am so effing excited to be right here, right now, with you, Ketchup, my boy, and everybody in chat. Should we get straight into, for the first time ever, an absolute no holds barred competition round robin tournament of Doom Eternal's Battle Mode Invitational? Are you ready?
Yes. We have loads to talk about.
We really do.
And I'm going to save it for when we go in. I think we're ready for map number 1.
All right.
There's going to be almost obvious stuff there. There are some special edges tonight.
There are. Let's go! Here we go. All right.
Okay. So those that know HeyKyle, I'm not going to spoil it, and I don't want anyone else to spoil it. You'll see it. There is something very, very different to what you're normally used to seeing. Demon side, well, all normal. What are we missing here? What's not on the screen?
Looks like there's not a lot of information that HeyKyle likes to work with, because he likes his HUD completely unobscured. He likes zero HUD. Dude's playing without it. Wow.
We will talk to him about it in the future. We will ask him why he does this, but
why you do this?
What is so ridiculous is, I mean, just look at his shots though. He's ridiculous. He's still managing to hit everything. I have no idea how he does it. But this is an immediate start where he's gone in, he's gone all in for the start, and at this point, I mean, these are two demons that are going to punish. You've got the invincibility of the chainsaw, you've got the glory kills. However, he's super, super weak. And now you've got F4llback going in with the Pain Elemental aggression. Understandably, Doomsday is having to be very careful here because all it takes is one demon going down to drop all of that stack, and the stays pretty much straight back in it. But from this point, that's all we needed. Good use of the shield, good use of the extra damage. I mean, just like that, round 1, done and dusted.
Really was. And you saw the nod there at the end of confirmation. I love that they're playing that peekaboo Mike Tyson style where you can always see that they're either behind or near cover and doing the poke out and getting it. Dashing coming from HeyKyle. He wants basically more ability to get the hell out faster. And then, of course, best friend coming out for the Marauder, because guess what? That wolf can mean life or death. Ooh, I like that dash through. Okay.
Really.
Okay.
Well, now the fight's almost immediately going to break out. The hazard's been used already, and now that quick switching into absolute sudden ballista boost.
And another hazard as well. Like, I love the way they're trying to push him around and kind of like, I mean, the hazard dictates space, right? Like, you have to respect it as a Slayer. You stay in there, and it's basically, you know, the end of days, end of your life. Wow, that move though! Hold up, hold the phone.
Incredibly fast pace. And you can't escape.
No, dude, that ballista jump to that last shot, like, posterized, dude. Print it out, get it in your wall. You know what I mean? Set it up.
This is where these picks so far have been totally understandable. The double tactician is going to be the same thing. Sure. Having your action skills last longer, having them come back more regularly, especially when you use the hazard. The hazard comes back insanely fast if you take tactician. But the use of Master Carve, I mean, how you're going to pay attention to how many pips you have of the chainsaw without HUD is beyond me, but
maybe that's just it. Maybe he's just like, look, I don't know how many pips I have. I just want to make sure that I have an option that there's maybe one more in the can. Who knows? Ooh. Dude, this is some super aggressive demon play, and I love seeing it. HeyKyle bailed out of that for very good reason, trying to take care of some of this fodder, trying to get his ammo back up, because guess what? He can't see it. He can't ever see it. He's playing blind because that's the way this dude rolls.
I mean, this is the most insane thing to me, is how you're able to stay on top of it. You know now, though, getting the demon frag, you're going to be able to get a whole bunch of your ammo back. You're going to be pretty safe here. You're going to have a whole bunch of ballista ammo, so this kind of ballista movement is going to be a little bit more free for you. But now here comes some demons trying to cause a bit of havoc here. Some free armor that, again, you can't really see.
Oh, God. But, such a nice ping pong there, though. Wow.
Now, what you can do still is listen out for it. So the loot block audio cue is very obvious. And it was kind of around. Yep, there it is. It's been used. But from this point, they're both so weak. The aggressive shield push. You have to try and get out of this bad situation. Good use of cover there, though, from F4llback, but not quite able to escape. Here comes the push, and This is a scary position because the Marauder, I mean, you have got the damage reduction ready to go, but I mean, you can't go toe-to-toe. Not when the Slayer's got this much health.
Oh, it was such a good hide for a minute there, and then as soon as he poked out, unfortunately, he did get spotted there. Sentinel infused, I like the pick. It's a respect pick for demons, knowing that they're going to cause a lot of damage to you, so you want to get yourself a little more buff. Of course, the double team heal. I think we're probably going to see that all night catch up.
Oh yeah, because it kind of just fits your own. If you want to be aggressive, or at the very least you want to brawl, that instant burst of the heal, especially if you can kind of juggle the two of them. Team heal can be, it's a lifesaver, you know what I mean? You use it specifically to just not get completely steamrolled, especially if the Slayer's gone Sentinel infused. So he has that extra stack at the same time. And now here comes the fight. Yo, the double hazard. That's a lot to worry about.
It's a lot to worry about, especially when...
Look at it.
I know. And the fact that this whole round started, by the way, with the peekaboo on using the teleporter, a hit and run with the precision bolt, and then he bounced, but it backfired because your boys, the demon side, they were ready. Like, they only took a single precision bolt from that surprise attack in the beginning. So I think that sort of right off the bat sort of set the pace on that the demons were setting the space. And like you said, that double hazard coming out, these guys are very comfortable with, oh, I love seeing the dog being used for a meat hook. I love it.
I mean, the more we see this game mode, the more the wolf is kind of used as that extra obstacle in the eyes of a lot of players. They use it for that guaranteed meat hook, right? Now here comes the chase down. Here comes the extra speed as well. Thank you very much, Haste. But the counter attack using the shield to say, you know what?
Really nice double barrel shot there. Yeah, super nice, super shotgun.
Good use of cover too.
Yeah.
It's always this kind of unsung game that you have to play. Wait a minute, hang on. He's stuck in the corner.
Ooh.
Looking like this could be it.
Oh!
Shard to the shield.
Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my.
And just like that, I mean, that was a map full of every single round being, I'm going to fight, I'm going to brawl, I'm a little bit pixelated again, apparently.
You're going to have to fight and brawl. That's part of it.
That's the nature of these comps, isn't it? The nature of these demons together is that they can keep up with the Slayer's pace. And that's really important, is that the Slayer often is the one that's able to kind of dictate how the match is going to go. So the demons have to be able to answer back almost the same way. Whereas if you put the Pain Elemental and the Marauder together, they're able to do that.
100%. And speaking of something really important, before we spawn the three just juicers you saw before you, I want to talk about something super important and part of the big reason that we're here tonight, which is part of the Bethesda at Home initiative of donating to this amazing charity. We've been switching it up week to week. For a couple weeks, it's been UNICEF, and by God, they deserve it. Ketchup, you want to run us through a little bit of what UNICEF's about, by chance?
UNICEF, I mean, it's all about just providing support for those that are definitely being affected with what's going on right now. That's for sure. Those that want to contribute, you can get involved in the Twitch chat, !donate, !charity. Either of those will take you to all the information that you need to raise funds for UNICEF. Of course, it's a great cause, and it's a worthy cause of everything that's going on in the world right now. And if you want to contribute, it's more than appreciated. If not, spreading the word is all that we ask. It's part of the Bethesda at Home initiative, and it's many of these streams are following the same kind of thing.
100%. And without further ado, there are three juicers. I'm going to see if I can put enough protein out in the world to sort of just magically lightning spawn in. Holy smackaroonies, holy smackadooskies, holy... Man, I put that one on a different thing and it is hard to hit now. That's my mistake. Guys. All right, first of all, we're going to start with the lunatic right above me. How do I do it? Right above me. This guy named HeyKyle, which it's easy to say your name because even by saying your name, I'm already saying hello every time I do it. So first of all, HeyKyle, how's it going, man?
How's it going?
Doing good, bro. Like, okay, you don't rock a HUD. Like, as a Slayer, that seems like a dangerous move for many reasons. Ammo and I would say ammo, armor, and pips of chainsaw being the absolute biggest reasons. Like, walk us through like where your head's at with being like, I don't want to see it. That's just like stuff I don't need. Like, what's up with that?
I mean, I first watched this guy, Klockner. He makes YouTube videos, and he played with no HUD in Doom 2016. And that got me to start playing with no HUD. And then I played Eternal, and I was like, you know, everyone's using a HUD. I'm just going to challenge myself. And I decided that I wouldn't use it, and I turned my crosshair off as well. And I know I've just gotten so used to it It really opens up a lot though, because you could just see more. Like, sure, you lose information, and it's pretty helpful to have that, but you also can see more, and like you don't have to focus on numbers. You just get involved and shoot the demons.
I mean, it makes a not to make a direct comparison because I know they're extremely different. We all know that playing Doom Eternal, but not using a HUD in battle mode is quite the brave venture because information in battle mode is at a million miles an hour, right? There's so many things that beyond just regular HUD elements that you also miss. You miss the loot block, you miss any kind of demon spawning soon commands and stuff like that. Anything that's like extra information's also not there. So
For
I gotta
sure.
ask, do you have any kind of like tricks, any kind of like mental notes that you keep for
I
other
mean,
information that you would normally want?
well, one thing I want to thank id for is the audio in the game, and the sound cues are great. Like, I can tell when my tank is back on my chainsaw. That's like super helpful, and I just count those pips in my head when I hear the sound, and that's how I know like how many I have. But
That's
sure,
awesome.
I totally get lost sometimes not knowing how many pips I have. But that's just the name of the game, and I really enjoy playing it like that. So I'm gonna keep doing it for sure.
Nice. I like that. Speaking of absolute madmen and just juicers, right to you, San Francisco being represented on the dome piece. Fallback, how you doing tonight, bro?
Good, thank you. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. So how did it feel to be the meatball in the sky on that map in particular? Because I know that like sometimes those, like the whole middle section having like the windows is that like curse and the blessing, because it's like I've seen some paint elementals every now and then you can kind of use them to your advantage where you're sort of using them for cover, but then there's those peak spots and you're like, are you serious? Like you hit me through that stuff. So like walk us through being a paint elemental on that map in particular.
Well, I like that map more because it's big and it's a lot of ups and downs. So if I was far away from him, I don't need to use my shield. Kyle gets around maps really fast, so the space definitely helps. But I didn't really need to use it much right there. He came right at us, and we just tried to out damage him as quick as we can, get my shield back up, get in his face, pressure him, make him fumble a little bit. And we got it done, thankfully.
Now, there's a really interesting element to how the two of you play, and this question's going to go to DoomsdayRonin. Those that were paying really close attention to Doomsday's POV will notice that on his HUD elements, um, indicators were buttons, controller buttons. So Doomsday Ronin, you're a pad player, and I think that's really interesting. And I know you're not the only pad player in the community. We have got other talented pad players too, which is really cool for Doom. Actually, there really is a bit of a mix there, but you're going up against people like Slayers that have this mouse and keyboard control, the quick switching and stuff, which is, I can imagine, quite hard to keep up with. How do you make it work? What's your background? What kind of led to you to that control method? Because if I remember right, PC, it's quite a new venture for you, right?
Yeah, it is. My background is primarily in PS4. I played a lot of Doom 2016, somewhat competitively with some of the other members of the community as well. But I decided to make the switch to PC just because I wanted to get those higher frame rates, better monitor, better resolution. So I play on 1440p, and it looks so much better on PC than it does on console.
But wait a second. Let me see that controller again. Bro, that's an Xbox controller. How do you do it? Honestly, like, I'm a Sony guy myself, and when I have to use an Xbox controller, I'm like, no. I'm just like, no, it doesn't. You put the buttons you put the sticks in the wrong place. Like, I can't. It's just not a big deal for you. Like, how was that transition? Because I mean, if you're so used to playing 2016 with that PS4 controller, switching Eternal to an Xbox controller, that'd be like saying like you see this mouse right here, like just throw it in like a trash can and like put another mouse in front of me. I'd be like, dude, I don't. That's gonna take a minute. How was that transition?
Personally, I do like the PS4 controllers a little bit better. They feel better in my hands, but I had more connectivity issues with software, and it being a little bit less viable with Windows than the
Sure.
Microsoft Xbox controller was. So I decided to take some of those issues out of the game.
Damn, dude.
So a lot of pad players. One thing I've noticed for sure in battle mode is a lot of pad players like Marauder. Is that like a coincidence, or is there just something about the Marauder's kit that translates quite well to a controller? Do you think?
I think it does translate to the Marauder too, and in some of the settings, actually, there is a little bit of aim assist with the Marauder and with the Slayer if you do play on that as well. So it can help your shotgun game, but I run 100% sensitivity on everything, so my movements are very, very fast. So it might help a little bit, but you still have to hit your shots.
Love it. Speaking of hitting and shots, I'm going to despawn you guys for just like 2 seconds or however long this next one goes. Poof! Because that was just one match. It felt fast, and honestly, it was super, super sweaty. Like, there was so much aggression in it, and I love like the push and pull and the use of so much good cover on the demon side, but that is just one of 3 tonight, Ketchup. We have got 2 more matches to go. Without further ado, let's jump right into match numero dos. Here we go. Where are we at? What are we doing?
I mean, look, it's also the first time. This is Penance, by the way, and there's going to be a demon change. They're rocking double Marauder for this one on that subject.
Okay.
But worth mentioning for sure, normally we don't pay attention to map score, but as this is the Invitational, the week 1, these maps and these games matter. So this being our second map in the rotation this week, which is going to be Penance. The double Marauder, I mean, Penance is an aggressive map. It naturally is. It may look like there's like a lot of verticality, but a really good Slayer has so many like lines of sight on you that you need that cover that's down the bottom. And those Marauders, they're smaller, they have damage reduction, they're a little bit trickier to hit. Double Marauder is very popular on this map.
Yeah, and it makes sense because, like you said, you basically have like the 2 kind of like sort of cave areas there, and of course this cathedral that he's just like, HeyKyle was popping his head for 2 seconds just to take the temperature up there. That is always a place where you'll see demons matriculate and try to set traps because it's a really good spot to drop spawn in a bigger demon, maybe like an Arachnotron or something of that nature, where it can basically, just like right there, it's basically body blocking in such a way that if you can throw them in a smaller space, both the Arachnotrons are out. It can be basically the difference between the round. Again, every single round in this Invitational is important. Not just winning a round, but even a single loss of a round. It's huge. It makes a huge, huge difference.
But I mean, going into these upgrades, sometimes you see double Marauders rock slightly different upgrades to each other because they want different utility, or maybe they've got different jobs. In this case, they go with identical. And I mean, it kind of just gives you that double best of both worlds. The best friend is so popular now, especially since the Marauder did have its damage reduction properties kind of adjusted, where best friend is really important for that. And now, Penance is a map where no HUD's going to be really interesting to me because there are just so many angles where a crosshair makes a big difference, man. Like, that's all I can really say about it.
And that's the interesting thing is like,
has a great use.
Yeah, and even though crosshair makes such a big difference, you see HeyKyle really adapting versus the last map. He's really trying to do that poke. I mean, right now he's going in a little bit to the cathedral, and he's got to deal with that dog in a second here, which did bite him in the face a little bit, and now he's low on HP. But he doesn't know it. Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, the shield's only going to keep you alive for so long in that situation.
Yep.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place, the Carcass edition. Now, bigger bar.
Ooh, bigger bar on both. I like that. I liked it a lot, actually. That's a really good Marauder pick in general, I feel like. Honestly, it's like you want to be able to
damage reduction, right?
Exactly, and you want to be able to stay in there and go toe to toe just a little bit longer, because a lot of times those do become those 50-50, Slayer versus Marauder 1v1s that we see so often, and it comes down to like usually a pip of health. So if you have just that one more pip, that could be the difference. And again, you see HeyKyle, he's trying to be a little more cautious here. He's trying to do a little more poke damage because, again, Marauders, when there's 2 of them like there are, like when they're up close, that's basically like you being up close to them with the super shotgun. It's not at all where you want to be. You see him using a little bit more of the verticality of the map, using the jump pads, using the, oh God though. Oh God. Dude, once they both get like any kind of pincer attack on the Slayer, that's GG's for the round. Like there's too much super shotgun to avoid, right? It just eats you up.
It's the double damage output, and then you have the fact that it's bigger bar, so they're naturally hard to take out. And now we're taking the double team heal on top of things. But you get to see why the double Marauder is such a popular pick on this map.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to completely separate at the start, which is really smart because it just shuts down getting that one good shot that can, kind of damage both Marauders at once. The early use of the hazard, that's a lot of pips too. And here comes the Brawl. Again, we're fighting. We're just swinging in this match. At this point, HeyKyle, massive emphasis on movement. Likely to take out Marauder. He does now, so he's going to get tons of resources here. And now F4llback really doesn't have the equipment to take this 1v1. You have to try and get out of there. But intelligently, that's going to be a disengage. This loot block is going to get used. Because there's only one demon there. Look at this damage. Look at this damage.
Can we talk about that ballista jump into what was just a series of like just playing the hits of like whatever arsenal you have available? He was just popping and switching so fast, and like that super clutch ballista jump he did, the boost, put him in a situation where he was able to ledge grab like without like missing a beat, and that led to all the damage that led to the end of the round. This is a 2-2 situation here, so whoever wins this entire match. And again, it's not about the match, it's about the rounds. But that being said, this, if it goes HeyKyle's way, is going to be even on the series, so this is huge for HeyKyle.
I like that early use of the glory kill near the jump pad just to get that haste activated. I mean, it kind of half doubles up to get a block. I know most good slayers won't use it. And hang on a minute, HeyKyle incredibly weak right now. Has to do a lot to try and escape. See, one layer is the combat. Look at the stack.
Yeah.
One layer is hitting all of your shots. The other layer, is this going to be it?
Ooh.
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's running without health. He's running without underwear. He's running naked around this map. This is insane.
We were just talking about slayers getting their stack back, though. Off that, I will say very fortunate block. Look at how much stack he's been able to get back.
Yep.
So one layer of playing a slayer is getting the fights and hitting all of his shots. The next layer is how do you survive? How do you keep yourself alive? He hasn't got resource drain either. Like, he's going back in with the default stuff. So fullback looking like it's going to be public enemy number 1.
Oof.
Free resources. It's how you capitalize. I mean, he's been given a fortunate hand with that carcass block. I truly think that he was going to get chased down by that marauder, and it's how you punish, how you get back up on that situation. Looking likely now. Good use of the meat hook on the wolf.
And again, it's such a nice use. The way he just merry-go-round that using meat hook and everything else. I love how he's always utilizing the rocket launcher and that remote detonate, because it is so crucial, whether you pop that remote detonate or not, to make marauders respect your space. And the only way to do it is really, other than just doing mass damage, is those rockets in your face. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to have that. So they're constantly trying to sort of get out of that line of sight. A really nice hazard put down there right before the teleport was used. He's down underneath here in this hurt locker. Let's see if they can trap him. And HeyKyle's definitely on the back foot. He's trying to get resources. There wasn't a block available, so he was able to get him. This is getting super spicy, though. It's about an even all three-way around right now. It's pretty much like a reset at this moment.
Yeah, no one's taken significant damage either, so it's how we kind of stabilize things right here. As you can see, the team heal's ready to rock. Just short of being able to block that. That's really unfortunate now. You have to show almost extra patience. And now, looks like a fight's going to break out. This is Kyle's opportunity to really get some damage. Unfortunately, the hazard is going to shut down some of the map, but it's not really going to stop much. And the team heal force. The team heal being forced with not a lot of damage in return to the Slayer. And that's one of the most unfortunate times, because it kind of feels like you're using it just to not die, not necessarily to get an edge in the fight. And now, with the amount of damage he was able to get from those chainsaws before, all he needs is one good ballista on fullback at this point, and he's gunning for it. He knows this is the objective. You just got to get that one little shot. And they can't block it again.
Yep, that's that. So now it's basically Ronin has to survive for another 15 seconds, which feels like about 15 minutes in this map right now, the way that HeyKyle's turning these into basically just non-stop aggression. Oh God!
Microwave.
Hold on.
He's trying to microwave him.
Oh my God!
He's known for it. HeyKyle was famous for that microwave beam. He calls it the meme beam.
That was such a clutch evade by Ronin, though. Like, super hats off.
Oh, and he just got the team.
That team heal. That team heal.
Like.
That was huge, dude.
Is it going to be enough to save him? That's the question.
I don't know, though. That was honestly, that was a good exchange for Fallback there, too, because he's like, if you want to go 50 with me, I have a bigger stack, so come at me. And now it looks like he's totally going to get, it's 5 seconds left to get Ronin back on the board again. This is an absolutely perfectly nutty end to this match. And it's not over because, again, he was able to survive just enough to get Ronin back. Ronin is just trying to, oh God. He was trying to hide, but now he's being chased down. HeyKyle's got a really nice stack, probably the best he's had almost since Spawn. So this is a really dangerous situation for Ronin now.
It's not. This is really kind of just delaying the inevitable. And split second before the demon comes back, what Kyle's able to do as well is keep them separated. And another one's going to go down. Fullback may have bitten off a little bit too much there. This is a tricky situation because now that there's a lot of time before it comes back. The loot block, okay. So definitely listening out for the chainsaw right there for the block, not necessarily the chainsaw animation. that might be the mistake to cost it all.
And that ballista boost right there did not get him where he needed to go, which cost him that time. That's super. And again, right now, time is super important because as soon as they get that team heal back, that's basically like, you know, having them restart the round, at least health-wise. So
the extra piece of underrated burst is the speed between Precision Bolt and Rocket. The speed
Yeah.
you can quick switch between those in particular is very fast.
Ooh, I love that teleporter to ballista boost to jump pad. That is a sick way to basically go from like left to right on the map without stopping or blinking.
I mean, it really can't be underrated just how impressive it is that these two demons are able to go toe-to-toe with this. The speed that Kyle is able to move around this map, the shots he's hitting. Speaking of which, likely to be another one going down, but
this
now
might be the
that's
longest
green light to go aggressive.
This is the longest 15 seconds of Fallback's life right now.
Oh no, more of it. The microwave.
Wow, that microwave is such a freaking perfect use of that. And again, he's being chased with it. 5 seconds. Oh my god.
Really trying to beam him. He's trying so hard to beam it.
Oh my
He
god.
gets the remote getting
Oh. Such a nice end to that round. Holy. I want to just pause for a second because I need to for my nerves. And while we do, I want to just reiterate the fact that, you know, everyone is in a situation right now around the world where we are in one of the weirdest places we've ever been. And because of that, a lot of people have been displaced and a lot of people on the front lines need our help. And if we can, what we ask is that if you do !donate or !charity, all of the donations will go to UNICEF, who is an absolutely amazing organization run by the UN. And anything you guys have that you can donate would be super appreciated. And if not, we just ask that you spread the word. And we're just so happy that you're here. Ketchup, like, look how close I am to the... It's just like, I just kept being like, I'm like watching the match and I'm just like...
I don't want to do it because I don't want to mess up your overlay.
Like that was my favorite round, period.
Yeah.
I've seen on this broadcast.
There was the thing that we can't ignore, the carcass, the MVP.
The carcass.
A little bit of a 2v2.
The carcass in the room.
2v2 in that one.
I
mean, look, we've said it time and time again that the carcass, it's both a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Depending on which side it wants to put the shield on, right? But it's how you capitalize on that too, because the whole thing that made that as tragic as it was for demons was that the fight was done. All it took was that one little extra piece of a shotgun blast from Marauder. It would have finished the job.
True.
Because Kyle was so unbearably weak.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, when you're in that position, how you recover.
That's true.
And the amount of stack he was able to get back in such a short space of time is also something that's impressive. It's the fortunate situation is given to you, but it's how you capitalize there too. Really want to chat to the guys.
I know.
To bring them in.
Here's what's crazy. Like, as we poof them back in existence from Discord, from the internet, when the round started, okay, when the map started and I saw there was double Marauder, I was like, no shit. I can't do it. You bullies up there. You damn bullies. I can't believe you went double Marauder. And then at the end of it, I was rooting for you guys so hard. Like, that last round, like, every time one of you would go down, like, your survivability, I've never seen anything. Because, like, HeyKyle's movement, like, he was doing ballista boosts to jump pads to like straight grapple into, like, you know, ballista, precision scope, rocket launcher, but somehow, like, you guys would always survive long enough to bring the other one back. Like, Marauders, let's put our, like, axes in the middle here for a second. Like, whoever wants to even take this, like, that last round, like, what was your guys' communication like in that? Like, what was happening?
Our communication was really strong, but I was quite devastated. I got blocked super hard.
That was the moment, man. I mean, I got to ask as well, when the two of you rock double Marauders, is that a map? Was that just a kind of Kyle situation? Is it map specific that dictates what kind of demons you rock? Like, what's normally the go ahead for when you go with the two of them?
Yeah, we don't always keep the same demons. But that map specifically is really good because we can close the distance pretty quickly because of the size of the map, in my opinion. And the only way to counter HeyKyle is by countering his aggression with aggression. So it's really easy to counter the aggression with Double Marauder or Marauder Pain, something of that sort.
But I
On
love
the
how
note of
like
Kyle,
yeah, go
I
ahead.
continue. Sorry, Discord delay destroys me sometimes.
No,
on
no, it's all good.
podcast.
I was just gonna say before we switch to Kyle, like especially earlier rounds, what I loved so much was like between the two of you guys, like Ronin, I saw you do so much really, really nice peekaboo in the first map. And then in the second map, when it was the two of you together, I kind of expected you guys to go like full aggression and like full like bully mode, like how usually when you see comps that do like double anything, like the mirror match things do. But you guys did such a nice job of like, you would kind of be like both like spread out enough and be like, look at me over here. And then as soon as HeyKyle would go for like fallback or would go for Ronin, I would see the other just be like, flank, go in now. Like there was such nice coordination in the way that you guys were like spread out just enough where it was like there's free damage. And even if you lost a teammate in the situation that you guys were putting him in most of the time, Kyle did an amazing job of like getting the F out of there and like restacking so fast to be able to try to push you and take you down like before your teammate comes back. But like kudos. I never thought I would compliment a double stack like that, because honestly like mirror matches are not my favorite, but that was because it's just usually it's like less dynamic, but it did not feel less dynamic. There was so much aggression and there was so much back and forth, and that last round was my favorite. Like, so kudos to the Double Marauders. I thought you guys were bullies, but you weren't. You were just playing your asses off. And speaking of playing your asses off, HeyKyle, I don't even know if you're aware, but you won that map. Did you even know? Because there was just, I feel like the whole time you were just like, it was like you were touching your stomach, chewing bubblegum, doing this, and just like all this shit at the same time. What was going on, man?
It's insane, man. They play out of their minds. They really do. Like I can't keep up with them. Like my boy, Dude Hell Yeah said, he said Marauder is like guerrilla warfare. Like they know when or when not to like jump out at me, and then when, like, for example, like Ronin sneaks up behind me and gets those meaty shots on me, but that doesn't matter because Carcass MVP.
I want to ask you about that. So this is like a really kind of underrated layer of playing Slayer in battle mode. Everyone thinks it's just all combat, and I think to the untrained eye, it can kind of look like that sometimes, can't it? Especially with how players like yourself go at it. But when it's time to survive, when it's time to disengage, when it's time to get your stack back up, so many players kind of put all their cards on the table and there's no backup plan. In situations like that, Kyle, when you're pretty much like you had to have like 10 HP or something from what it looked like, and then it's
Whoa.
time to recover. How do you do it? Like, what are the things you have to keep in mind for those that are wanting to know? Like, what are the tips and tricks for like not dying in that situation?
I mean, to get out of there quickly, thankfully I was near the portal down in the cave. And I use a ballista boost to get away. Like that's the movement in this game is so key. Meat hooks and ballista boosting just opens up a new layer to like the combat. And I could just dip out of there. I jumped through the portal, and then I saw like two imps that were right in front of me when I came out of the portal, and I just quickly shot both of them and took them out, got my stacks back, and I just had to think on my feet quickly because I really was like, I want to say I was like 5 HP.
Yeah.
That carcass really saved me there. Like I ain't even going to lie.
Yeah. It's
Like
usually the other way around, right? Like with spawns,
like
it's
thank
usually
you.
like it's usually like that third demon on the board. But in that case, he was just like, it was like Stairway to Heaven. He was just like, where would you like me to
Yep.
put this, sir? It was nuts, dude. That was nuts. All right.
It was a great match.
It really was.
It
Like, I'm still reeling from that match, and I know we have one more, and I know we should get to it, and I'm trying to let that map go, but I'm having a hard time because it was just so goddamn good.
Sometimes you have to Tokyo, and
What do
now
you
it's
got? What do you got,
also that
fallback?
moment.
What's up?
So what do you got on that match there, brother?
Oh,
Juicer.
for a double marauder though, it's good. It could be used on any map just because you can make the Slayer run out of ammo. We're still trying to get better. I'm still trying to get better just in battle mode in general. But yes, say if we took Tactician instead, double Tactician, our armor lasts longer, comes back faster, loot block faster. If you're making him miss all these shots, especially Kyle, he just blows through everything. So that would be a legit strat. But we tried it, and it didn't work. That map, obviously we didn't do tactician, but yeah, you have to think a little bit as a demon. But Marauder's good because he can punish you. You got hazards, you can loop block, all that good stuff.
I mean, I feel like,
Especially with,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna add to it and just say, especially with how you were juggling the blocks, it's one of the definitely the trickiest thing to do in a long round, especially when emotions run high, right, and things get close and the round goes on for longer and longer. There were a couple of moments where it's, you know, we've all been in that situation where you try and do a block, and it's like, I know we've set that you've got the first block, but it's not been blocked immediately, and I think if I block, it's better than no one blocking, and then you just do it, and then it's gone for a while, right? So yeah, you did a good job of juggling between it too.
Yeah, I mean, communication was nuts, and I feel like I'm going to watch that match again, not just for, you know, so I can prepare to feel like what it feels like to have a heart attack, but also so like I can just look at your guys' routing on when you were a demon down so many times in that last round. Like, that map doesn't have a lot of places you can hide. Like, if you're not up in the cathedral, you're basically in the open one way or another. So like the way that you guys kept using like these weird routes to get the hell out of there, while HeyKyle was chasing you with ballista boost, with everything you could, with using the teleporter, with using the jump pads, like really impressed. That was, I'm just gonna keep talking about that map. All right, we got one more map. I'm gonna despawn you guys for just a second because we came here tonight, catch up, for the Friday Night Fight Invitational to play 3 maps in a row, because instead of just being cherry picked, these were played 1, 2, 3 with no breaks in between. Every single round is important, because even if you win the map, if you win, 3-2, 3-0, whatever, that score is going to carry every single week for 7 weeks to decide who is in the finals. There's only going to be 1 Slayer and only 2 demons in the finals on week 8. So every single thing is precious now, catch up.
Every week counts, and every round counts, and every map counts. And now with both players, or both sides, is more accurate, having a map each, I think it's time we get into the final one and figure out how things ended.
Whoo boy! Everything counts in large amounts. Map 3, are you ready? Friday Night Fights Invitational, let's go. Okay, what is this map?
From this point, I mean, Forsaken. Now, the first thing we have to mention is Forsaken is definitely seen as a map that the Slayer does pretty well in.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's really down to the demon side to be familiar with the map, and any kind of advantage you can give yourself, got to be ready for it.
100%.
Now, going in with the kind of first comp that we saw on map number 1. And Kyle, I mean, it wouldn't be Kyle if he wasn't being crazy aggressive.
And I love, again, how, you notice he chooses, the right, tool for the job. Whenever you see Ronin, you'll see that the rocket launcher will come out again, trying to make him respect that space. With that meatball in the sky, the precision scope is the weapon of choice. And right now he's being pretty pressured by F4llback, who's got his shield out. They're putting him on a little bit on the back foot. And honestly, this is one of those maps that, depending on how they spawn in demons, it can be a situation where you're running around as a Slayer literally looking for anything you can loot. You're just trying to look for, that fodder. And honestly, even though it's a tight map, it can get kind of spread out.
Now
there you have it. And there you have it.
That's a best case scenario for demons, because the earlier getting that first round on a map like this just guarantees that you get access to the team heal.
100%.
And that's pretty much it. You can now lose the next 2 rounds or whatever it might be, and it's okay. Now we can start to play.
Not only that, it's also the psychological thing of, obviously demons start out at a bit of a disadvantage in round 1. The Slayer has his full kit. The demons don't have any of the additional, power-ups that actually make a lot of the things they do more viable and come up quicker. So that's got to be a huge boost for the demons. I'm really curious to see how HeyKyle deals with that, if he just shakes it off, or if he starts to play a little bit on the back foot here, because this can be one of those really pear-shaped kind of maps that we've seen go demon way. And when it does, it goes that way hard and fast. So I'm really curious. Okay, that was an absolute delete from the meatball. He caught him with his shield out and he punished it. And Ronin came in to punish him as well, but it was a little too late to really get the full effect there. Honestly, he doesn't really need to restack. He got bit by the Doge there a little bit, but he's still at such a stack advantage that he can push that. Obviously, this madman HeyKyle is playing without a HUD, so whether he's completely aware of his stack or not, Ketchup, I'm not even sure.
I mean, it's how he's hitting these kind of shots without it is just kind of silently ridiculous. I really don't want to be a broken record and just never ending talk about it, but come on, dude. Come on after that.
Wow, he went
But it's a 1-1.
in to pick up the guts, get his spoils at the end of that. The loot was acquired at the end. Mastercarve coming out. Bigger bar, I like that, of course, as always, so he can be aggressive. Ronin can be aggressive on the ground. Tactician coming out for fallback in the sky, because when you need to fall back, you're going to need those all those sweet things coming up like shield and everything else with spawn quicker. So it's a really, really good pick for him. And I'm curious to see if they're trying to, yeah. I always feel like this area they're in right now, which I call kind of like the T, this is sort of like my favorite area as a demon. You see a lot of players at high levels try to get the Slayer in kind of a merry-go-round situation there. Again, the teleporter is the best bail out of that, because once he clears that side of the map, chances are there's going to be some fodder over there just like there was there, and he's going to be able to restack pretty easily.
I've got to mention, I'm a huge fan of how aggressive Fullback is with the Pain Elemental.
Same.
Yeah, the information is there, and normally this is a demon that follows that kind of tank quote-unquote role, but with the way things are going now, it's kind of yes and kind of no. They have the similar kind of aggression with each other. It's just one has a shield. One's able to be the one that's constantly soaking up Fullback. Just look at how he positions himself. He's getting in the way. He's trying to put up a barrier between himself and Doomsday, just so Doomsday takes less damage. It's a great partnership. However,
that
this
poke
situation
shot,
looks
I'm telling
like
you.
Kyle should be good.
Yeah, that poke shot he hit on Ronin completely negated the aggression that Ronin was about to put out, and now Ronin is 1,000% on the back foot. My God,
That was
though.
so sick.
Right
Fullback
there,
blocked it.
fallback.
He blocked the death blow. He
Dude,
blocked the killing blow.
that was MVP fallback right there. Like, that was an absolute sick defensive play. Okay.
He's been MVP of this map so far, 100%. And now,
yeah.
thanks to the first round, the Demons getting the first round, we get the team heal. You're guaranteed that kind of end game buff that you need. You know, you need this kind of upgrade. You can see how Kyle is just consistently hitting the damage. And on a map like this, where the fights, you just don't have a lot of room to hide, right? You can't really play a slow game on Forsaken. The fight is forced onto you. Fortunately for Doomsday and Fullback, they're clearly two players that are more than used to it. They're experienced in having to go toe-to-toe, so not really too much of a problem for them.
True. But it's those moments that just came down to like the end of that round, or like Ronin right here. Oh my God, that team heal was perfectly timed. It's like, again, every single round in the Invitational is crucial. So when Fallback just won that last round in that 50-50 he won it in, like, that could be the difference of being in the finals or not. So that's what is so important about this Invitational, is every single round is as important as winning the entire map or not. Like, it is round-based that we are doing these scores. Such a nice exchange in the air there for Fallback, popping his shield at the perfect time, got his teammate back. Ronin's going to have the aggression. He's already hit a really, really nice super shotgun there. Ooh, it's about less than half health for Ronin, but he's still doing really nice distance hits. He's throwing those axes. He's getting them out. HeyKyle using that ballista boost as he does so commonly. Wow, that block, though. I'm telling you, dude. Fallback shield, the timing, and the... oh, no, though. Ronin caught out at the wrong place, wrong time with the wrong amount of damage. Fallback shield's about to be down. This could be it. Ooh, nice boost.
Yeah,
nice
boost. It looked like Fullback, even in that situation, as weak as he was still being a little bit aggressive when he knew he could. Now that's a loot block's been used. He knows that's going to be Fullback's block. A little bit of information and no escape. No escape.
Not enough, yeah. And even honestly, if Ronin had come back there, HeyKyle was in a decent HP situation. So here it is, Ketchup. The decider for this full series. It's 2-2. It is Tysies. What's it going to be? Is this going to be another, like, 6-minute round like we had in the last map? Like, it's going to be so tough to pull off in this map because there are not a lot of places you can hide, Ketchup.
Well, the team heal's activated. A great trap, actually.
Wow.
Almost all of the armor has been taken away from Kyle already, and you can see Fullback using that as the go-ahead to be completely aggressive. And just look at how often Kyle is the one that's known for being aggressive and super fast, yet he's the one that's being forced away a little bit here. And,
100%.
It's confidence in the communication. Unfortunately, it did lead to a ton of damage. Ronin is going to go down. But again, aggression, just the Pain Elemental just doesn't let you go. Love the use of getting rid of the shield during the chain score, just to get the cooldown comes back so much quicker.
Wow. Dude, with 7 seconds left, he's pushing in as a Pain Elemental. I love this aggression. This is nutty aggression from a Pain Elemental. This is maybe the most aggressive I've ever seen a Pain Elemental play, especially on such a high-pressure situation. But look at how he, performed. He was able to get out of that exchange with taking all of HeyKyle's armor away and coming out with more than half health. I mean, that's a net positive for a demon.
I mean, the goal is going to be you have to use this aggression to play almost like the end game, the late game. How much damage are they going to take? The danger for Ronin He's just not able to dodge these shots. You can't on this map. It's the nature of the map. You haven't got a lot of hiding positions. So although Kyle's taking lots of damage, he's kind of just using the Marauder right now as just a portable health kit, because the Marauder can only do so much damage when you've got that much stack to work with, and fullback dangerous, and that is all she wrote.
That was a toughie. Damn, these have me
match,
like
though.
inside my
good
monitor.
match.
I have to watch this inside of my monitor because the intensity is like, it's too much. That was a good ass. That was a good game.
Good way to start the week, though, isn't it? This is week number 1.
God, yeah, seriously. No bits about it. I'm just gonna bring him straight in from the internet. Poof, boys, welcome back. I'm gonna start with HeyKyle this time because, like, something I don't think we've commended you on enough is like these guys play really, really aggressive no matter what their comp is, and like you play a lot of this match. I mean, last one too, but especially this match, like you play a lot of it like push back, like on your back foot, and you do it like really, really well. Like, walk us through. Like, is it something that like, are you just comfortable enough doing plus back? Do you prefer plus back? Because I know there's a lot of people saying like, you know, this is a W player. It's going to be all push forward. This is 2016. Let's go. But it's like, dude, your push back is extremely nice. Like, I'm seeing you hit, you know, ballista stuff. You're still doing boosts, but you're doing them backwards. Like, you walk us through your ballet right now.
Well, honestly, it wasn't until pretty recently that I started to learn how to play against comps like Fallback and Ronin. They really pushed me to my limit, and I've had to learn how to gauge like when I need to aggress. Sometimes I feel like maybe I do over aggress, and that might be something I need to work on. Because in that match, when it was 1-2, I was like I think I was like 1 or 2 super shotgun shots away from ending the match. I got pretty low there. Thankfully, I was able to kill Ronin and get his stack, but like definitely I'm working on that, and I think I'm doing it pretty well. Keeping my distance. Like, I'm still trying to dish out damage as I'm keeping my distance. Like, that just helps keep them away. And when you got an aggressive comp like Pain and Marauder, you need to keep them off of you, or else, I mean, that's game over if they get close and in your face.
And we saw some of your
And they
push
do
forward
that really well.
Some of your push forward included microwave beam. Like, it's so rare to see that in battle mode, and it honestly, it like warms my heart because it's actually, I feel like you were doing it on fallback as the pain elemental, and it's such a good move in the sense that like it's kind of like one of those things that, you know, a lot of times you've seen those like those 1v1s with Slayer and Pain Elemental where it's like, here's my my mobile turret with like the shield coming up, and here's my shield as a Pain Elemental to just shield the shield. But I think it's even smarter to like, if you pop that microwave beam as soon as that shield goes away, it's basically just like guaranteed damage, and you're just like, it's like exponential. Like, you had one chase that I was like, holy, I don't think I'd seen that before. That was nice. Are you like, is that something that you specifically save for pain elementals, like the microwave beam, or is that something you mix into your arsenal just depending on the situation?
I mean, I figured out that like the microwave beam really has its uses. If you can't pick off the target, if they're like, for example, on the Marauder, they're moving and jumping around so much. So using that as a finisher tool against Pains, if they're just dipping and diving, you can hit them slightly around corners, and it's a tool that I actually come to really enjoy using. I mean, sure, I do like to just see demons explode when I beam them, and that's really fun. But I really do think,
Just like
I
busting
really
ghosts.
do think it's viable because it really, I mean, you can't miss it.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
miss.
got that lock on,
There's-
right? Just kind of like,
yeah,
like locking
exactly.
rockets, yeah.
I mean,
I really enjoy it.
we reach a point, don't we, where sometimes you just use something because you enjoy it or because it's a good laugh or whatever, and then the more you use it, it's like, hey, wait a minute, you might be onto something. You know, kind of Kyle kind of defining the microwave beam before our very eyes and all that good stuff. But who I really want to chat to about this map is Fullback. So we spent a lot of that entire map just seeing things from your POV. I truly don't think we've ever seen a pain elemental that aggressive. I think that is the most aggressive demon usage we've had on the show so far. And I kind of want to almost leave this as like an open discussion. Just what are your thoughts when you kind of play that way with the Pentameter? What's the stuff you look out for? Your movement's really interesting. Your choice of aggressive use of shield, like how do you make it work?
Yeah.
Well, the shield is obviously the key, and then the fit meatball, the dash, because you can dash so far away. So as long as you're somewhat near cover, but even then, just put the shield up, get in their face, hit them as much times as you can, and then maybe you'll get a shield release and dash away. And then Ronin needs to be like in his grill, and he can do so much damage in that small period of time. Mix in hazards. It's scary. And I learned that way playing conjugates and Cronin when I was a Slayer. They whooped my A like 5 maps in a row. Like, okay, that's the best demon right there. And I'm sorry for all the Slayers that complain about it, but you're just gonna have to suck it up and get better because we need it.
I like that.
That's fighting words, man. I respect it and I like it. But Ronin as well. So
Yeah.
a map like Forsaken, which is obviously it's a lot of people do kind of consider it to be pretty Slayer heavy,
Pro
right?
Slayer,
The
yeah.
map of like Forsaken. How do you stay alive? What's the do's and don'ts?
Basically, I have to count on my teammate to help me stay alive on that map. So our communication is key. We've been playing together pretty much since the release. We kind of ran into each other and made it happen. So whenever he plays Pain, I play Marauder. I have to play off of him. I have to watch where he's going, where he's dashing. So if Kyle, with his aggression, is chasing down Fallback, I need to get in there and get as much damage as I can because he's still probably going to get some damage on him. So also sometimes if HeyKyle is chasing me and aggressing me, Fallback comes in, as you guys have seen, and he'll use his shield to block some of those shots. And that's really the key. Is you have to play off of one another in order for that to work.
Right. So what I'm going to ask, actually going to ask all three of you the same question, and we'll start with Kyle. And so the big thing I want to ask now is, you've been playing Doom Eternal since launch up until now. You've been grinding it, matchmaking, private lobbies, whatever it is. This is the first time Friday Night Fights has been a true competitive experience, thanks to this being week 1 of the Invitational. Now, again, I'm going to ask all three of you the same question, starting with Kyle. Has the fact that these maps have had stuff on the line and that these maps count for something and that this is a competitive experience, has it made any impact on how you've approached things? You know, like have you been nervous at all? Or like how has it felt being a part of it?
Totally. Man, I would be lying if I didn't say going up against these juicers and like, dude, I was nervous before we had our games. 100%. These guys, I've been playing with them. Like these are like I met these guys, man. The Doom community is awesome. I met Ronin and Fallback in games, and then we've been pals. And man, just seeing them grow on Demon and just like everything, like it's not even the same from launch anymore. These guys are insane. And I mean, yeah, I was definitely stressed out. I was definitely stressed out. But I mean, maybe I work really good under pressure because once they got the team heal rounds, I don't know. I changed up my play style a little bit and I made it work. But they're just insane and they're so much fun to fight. It's a good
All
time.
right. So I guess Fullback and Doomsday, like I guess I'll ask you both combined, the competitive experience, how's it felt for you guys?
Yeah, I get a little fidgety for sure. Probably not as much as a Slayer because I know the other side. Definitely more intimidating. It gets your blood pumping for sure. That's why I like this game so much. You got to try and win, and it puts you out there on the line. But yeah, respect HeyKyle, respect anyone that plays this game. Everyone's been cool for the most part, and yeah. So I want to thank Doom for giving us an awesome game, and I love competitive games. You know, I'm here to stay. So
I co-sign that.
Yeah, it's a really interesting game mode to me since it's, 2v1. I've never played a game like that. I know that there was Evolve before. I never played that, but it's just very, very appealing to be able to be on the demon side and have the communication and basically have, a Slayer that can out DPS you where you have to play the sort of peekaboo game to where, you have to evade at certain times and only come in whenever you're armored up. Because if you go in there as a Marauder without armor against HeyKyle, say delete, you're just done.
And just a quick shout out from chat right now. Hugo Martin, game director, and legendary just human being on Earth, just had a little shout out. Said, "Congrats to you guys. You all rock." So there
Thanks,
you have
Hugo.
it.
Hey,
Hugo is the man.
thank you, Hugo.
Really
Thanks
is.
for creating an awesome
And all
game.
of it.
We love it. We're gonna play it
Yes.
for a long time.
Yes. You guys rock.
So speaking of which, Ketchup, we always do before we sign off, and before this is the crazy thing about this week. We're not only signing off as we normally do. We'll pass the baton to another streamer, of course, of Doom Eternal. But in a minute, we're going to get to the results of every other map and matchup that was played this week. Because again, everybody in the tournament plays every week. We feature 3 maps of 2 different teams, a Slayer and a Demon team, and we play all the way through. But we have results for everybody that we are so excited, just like these 3 maps, to show you guys. But before we do, Ketchup, I know you have a segment of which I love, of any other shout outs. So real quick, if you want to run through those, we're going to get to the results of the rest of the week.
Yeah, so we'll keep this short and sweet, and we'll start with Ronin. Opportunity to give anyone shouts or thanks to whatever it might be. Community, this is your moment.
Sure. I think really the biggest shout out, and I think all the battle mode streamers would agree, I have to shout out for Mr. X28, biggest supporter of the entire Doom Eternal battle mode community, if not, Doom right now. He's just been a monster at giving out subscriptions, donations, biddies, everything. So shout out to X28 for being so generous with his time and hanging out with us, and also shout out to the Spicy Demons Discord and also the Renegades as well.
Awesome. I think up next we'll just do F4llback, same thing.
Yeah, I'd also like to shout out X28. He hooks it up for everyone. Super mega ultra juicer for sure. And then I also want to shout out some other Slayers that we've been playing against. And there's not that many demon teams out there, so we're trying to do our best to give you guys something to strive for. But Hugh, Tesla, Giggsy, Bread, Super Mario, Strato, Shocker, there's a lot of you guys out there. Keep it up. I'm sorry if I missed you, but we'll be here for you.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, the main man without a HUD, HeyKyle.
I definitely want to shout out my mom and dad, just for always being there and letting me play video games and waste all your time and energy on me playing video games. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I want to shout out Nova Squad. That's all my boys at home watching. Thank you guys so much. And 30 Down Gang, 30 Down. And Spicy, of course, Spicy Discord, dude. It's a Spicy Discord, man. The community that we have for battle mode, I can't say it enough. Like, it rocks. Like, everyone is insane, and the support that they give, like in all the streams, like, yeah, X28, dude, is insane. Doomsday and F4llback, they're also insane supporters, man. Just the whole community that we built here is just great. I love it. It's a good time. So yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well,
dude, hell yeah.
I guess I just said it. Sometimes these things just come out, you know what I mean? So shout out to everybody here. Thank you guys so much. It's been a long time coming to have you guys on the stream. I'm so happy you guys could all glad us. Wow. I'm so glad you guys could finally join us. And I'm just glad you could glad us, apparently. So thank you guys for being here. And maybe we'll see you in a couple of weeks in these finals. So good luck in the rest of you guys' matches. And we're going to despawn you guys out just for a minute, because peace out for a sec, because Ketchup, we have the recap of every other map that's been played this week. Walk us through that real quick.
We have some new content to finish the show with, and it's why don't go anywhere, because if you want to know what happened in all the off-stream matches, we do have the players record their final map, and obviously they're telling us all the results. It's how we keep tabs and how we keep track. But we wanted to make sure we could give everyone kind of a final note to know what happened in the games that we don't see. And that is why we have a very small portion of a weekly recap that I believe is ready to rock.
It is indeed. 3, 2, 1, let's go!
This week's episode of the Friday Night Fights Invitational featured HeyKyle versus DoomsdayRonin and F4llback. But what happened in the off-stream matches of this round-robin tournament series? Well, let's find out. Although Teespring is able to win the final map of Forsaken against Bazooka Joey and Defiler Phil, it was this Demon team that took the series win. YouTube sensation Matrix delivers a dominant performance against fan favorites Dude Hell Yeah and Zero Rex, scoring an early point lead. Miss Heartbeat has a rematch against Swansong and Nista, but this time it's revenge. She secures a comfortable victory over the new classic duo. Bite Me faces off against Cronid and Conjugate, with the Demon duo taking home an extremely comfortable victory. Zanarathaz is said to be one of the community's strongest slayers for a reason, as he puts on an absolute clinic against Schlippy and Pinocchio. And finally, Grizzly takes on Moon Marooned and Nero Redgrave, giving us one of the closest sets of the week, but Grizzly inches out the win. Tune into our latest featured matchup every single week at Friday, 7:30 p.m. ET over at twitch.tv/Bethesda.
So apparently there was a little bit of doubled audio on that. But
That's what I hear.
That's
what I hear. Yeah. I can probably fix that next time, unless that's what's desired. I hear there's an effect and it added something. So let's actually cut to real quick, catch up the leaderboard. I want to talk through some of this real quick. So this is week 1. These are the results. Of course, we just saw HeyKyle and F4llback and Ronin put on an absolute display of what sweaty matches look like. But looking just down left to right here, we'll start on the Slayer side. Matrix and Zan not giving up a single round. Very, very impressive. Like,
extremely dominant performance. We've
right?
had just a mix of everything. You know, Heartbeat, I know she's going to feel really good, kind of getting that revenge, that Friday Night Fights revenge.
Only giving up a single round herself. Like, I mean,
yes,
that's damn impressive. Again, HeyKyle got that 1 round advantage, which made the difference this week, but that is not discouraging for the other side when you look at, in 3rd place now, F4llback and DoomsdayRonin in a pretty nice 3rd spot there. Again, Grizzly coming out of, last week, coming out strong, coming out 7-6. Tenseko a little bit on the back foot with 3 and 8, and Bite Me going up against Cronid and Conjugate's just a little bit too much for him to bite off there. That's my pun for the day. Bazooka Joey and Defiler Phil 8 and 3. Okay, Cronid and Conjugate's no surprise there. They dropped a round, but still, even them dropping around, you're like, ooh, okay, all right, so they're beatable. They're beatable. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, looking at the rest of these scores, basically week 1 is only going to give us so much information because it's fair to assume Matrix, Zan, Heartbeat, they're all going to be dangerous slayers. But then Cronid and Conjugate, some people say they're the best demon duo going, right? So the week 1 results, they're good to see kind of what the dominant levels are looking like early on. But the thing is, it's going to take those multiple weeks, those multiple opponents, the different play styles to really start to get a clear idea over how people are shaping up. And that's what I'm the most excited for out of all of it, I think.
Yeah, 100%. So it is with a great pleasure that we, before we sign off, we've already announced all this. This is already on the Slayers Club right now. There's an article that literally lays out every single week of who's playing who, because in the Invitational, it's all set. It's round robin. Everyone plays everyone. But I do want to give it a shout out for next week. We are going to see none other than Tenseko, Schlippy, and Pinocchio This is actually really fun and interesting because we haven't had Schlippy or Pinocchio on the stream yet. We've seen Tenseiko, but Tenseiko catch-up was on the other side last time.
Yes, so Tenseiko, I know he prefers playing Slayer in battle mode. I mean, he's able to kind of play the board, as Tenseiko is quite the kind of FPS beast. So he's pretty multi-talented, right? But the second he's able to kind of have the Slayer under his belt, I think he's a lot more comfortable. Schlippy and Pinocchio, again, 2 players we haven't really seen on Friday Night Fights, but nothing but good things to say about them, right? So I think 100%. We can expect a good matchup.
And again, the fun part about this is like both of these sides, because of week 1's results, have a lot to prove. So everyone's going to go out there trying to, take down every single round they possibly can. And I can't wait for it. It's going to be super, super excited. So again, we will see you guys 1 week from today, 7:30, same channel on Bethesda for Friday Night Fights Invitational. But we are going to kick it off by sending everybody here over to raid our buddy Nitrile, who, if you forgot, how dare you, number 1. Number 2, a great player and a great friend who was a part of the kickoff stream when we first launched this beautiful game, Doom Eternal, just a few months ago. It feels like years ago because it's just there's so much content and it's so fun to do. But again, thank you guys, everyone that's been here. We love you guys. You're the reason that we do this. Like, we love this community, and everyone that has been passionate about battle mode has gotten us to this point, and it's just getting more and more hype every week, Ketchup.
Yeah, I mean, for a final note from me, I know I say this every week, but I mean it every week, right? It means a lot to us that you're watching, you enjoy it, and battle mode, it's something special to a lot of us, and we've had enough time. Whoa, check me. Let me go down here. Let me go. Here we go. I'm here now. I'm in this window. Let me line up. Perfect. I think we're finally in a position where we can start doing a little bit more competitive activity, which is what kind of inspired the Invitational in the first place. Hey, I can get back. Oh, there we go. I can back to normal. Back to normal. But yeah, just thanks everyone for watching. Much love as always. Get involved, get active, and we'll see you next week. That's all there is to it.
We'll see you guys soon. Later.